If you're making videos and people are not watching them, it might not be your content. It might be the way you're delivering it. Your videos only really need three things: the hook, line, and sinker. And if you're missing even one of them, you're potentially losing views and possibly losing the opportunity to turn them into clients, leads, and followers. So let me show you exactly how this works. Hello, I am Rachel Ann, the founder of Focused Media Collective, and I help real estate agents to build a personal brand, get more confident on camera, and to gain leads through video. So today we're going fishing. Just kidding. We're not going fishing, but I am going to teach you the concept of hook, line, and sinker so that your videos convert. The hook is basically what's going to get the viewer to continue watching our video. We have to have a compelling first statement that is going to make a viewer want to continue to watch. Otherwise, they're just going to scroll right past. You could have like the most amazing information in the whole wide world, but if your first sentence is not compelling for the viewer or interesting or creating some kind of curiosity or questioning the norm or pointing something out that really makes them want to keep watching, they're going to just scroll past your content. So that first line is like the most valuable real estate in your video. I am going to talk about two different kinds of hooks today. The first one is a curiosity hook, which is my absolute favorite. A curiosity hook basically creates an information gap. So we tell them what the video is going to be about without telling them the outcome. So we're going to allude to something without giving them all the information, so they feel like they have to watch till the end of the video to figure out what we're talking about. So a good example of this, we've all binge watched Netflix, right? Like I know I have, I'm guilty. And at the end of every episode of a show, they use a curiosity hook where they don't finish like the storyline. They leave it open-ended. So you have to watch the next episode because you just have to see what happened, right? And then you're up till 3 a.m. watching this stupid show. And it just gets you every single time. That is a curiosity hook, and that is what I'm going to teach you about today. So here is an example of a curiosity hook. There's one thing I always look for when I walk into a house, and most buyers completely miss it. So why it works is because the viewer is instantly asking themselves, like, what do I miss? What is it? I need to know. So it creates that information gap, right? Okay, next example. Before you make an offer on a house, there's one question I want you to ask your agent. So for this one, you are deliberately withholding the question. So they really want to know what it is. They're like, well, I should probably be asking my agent this. What is it? Right? So they're, again, that information gap. They were just looking to close the loop. All right, next up is the contrarian hook. I really love this hook because it challenges your common belief. So if you think one way, it's going to say the other way is the truth, and it's going to make you go, wait, what? I thought it was this way, but it's this way. So it makes them want to keep listening and keep watching your video because they're like, well, I have to know what they're going to say. Was I wrong? Like it makes them question themselves, which then makes them want to watch till the end. I was getting emails for years from this social media company that I followed on Instagram, gave them my email address on a lead magnet, and they started emailing me. And they always gave all these great, like, add value emails that I got a ton of information out of, but I never really looked into what their offer was. One day, I got an email from them. And a little backstory, we had been doing a lot of different kinds of reels on our Instagram for Focused Media Collective, like trying to go viral, trying to get more views. And we were trying to please the algorithm, which is so frustrating because it changes literally every day. So it wasn't really a very good strategy that was sustainable. It was like, I felt like I was chasing it all the time. I got an email from this social media company, and the tagline, subject line was, F the algorithm. And just the F the algorithm part like perked my ears up like no other. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, please. I'm so sick of trying to chase this algorithm. So it was a huge eye opener for me. I read their email and I signed up for their program. I spent $5,000 to join their program from that one email and that contrarian hook. So it works. And they had been emailing me for years. Like honestly, I think 2 or 3 years I've been getting their emails and didn't think twice about checking them out and seeing what they had until I saw that. It just hit, right? It spoke right to me. Use these contrarian hooks to just grab your people. All right, so here's a couple examples of contrarian hooks. Number one, the best house in the neighborhood might actually be the worst one to buy. Okay, and then you would want to explain why buying the most expensive or over-improved home in the neighborhood can sometimes be a poor financial decision. This would be a really good one for anybody to make a video on. If you do make a video on this, please comment below and give me your Instagram. I would love to repost this to my story and just show the example of a great contrarian hook. Okay, next up, example number 2. You do not need to wait for interest rates to drop before buying a house, right? A lot of people think that. They're like, well, I'm not going to buy because I need to save money. So break the norm. Tell them that's not true. You don't have to do that. And then explain why the right time to buy depends on someone's individual finances, local market conditions, competition, negotiating power, and long-term plans, not simply the headline mortgage rate. The line. This is the information of your video. This is the meat. This is where we deliver on the curiosity hook or the contrarian hook, and we tell them the piece of information. The biggest mistake I see here is people giving just simply too much information in their videos. This is meant to be one topic. You're answering one question. You're not answering 3 or 4 questions in one video. You would be shocked at how many videos you can make when you only answer one question, honestly. So just keep it short and straight to the point and remove any of the fluff, any of the filler, and make sure you don't answer the question twice. I see that a lot as well, common problem. And then delete any of the dead space in your video too. If you've got kind of a long pause, you can trim that part of your video just to make it go a little bit quicker. Because even just a long pause is enough for some people to swipe right on by. And this is short form content that we're creating on social media. So make sure you keep it short and sweet and to the point. Okay, if we go back to the curiosity hook, there is one thing that I always look for when I walk into a house, and most buyers completely miss it. We just want to give the one thing, because that's what you said, one thing, right? So give them that one thing, whatever that might be. Okay, now let's look at the next curiosity hook. Before you make an offer on a house, there is one question I want you to ask your agent. Okay, that's your hook. Then the information. Tell me the question, explain why it's important, and maybe give me one example, and that's it. You're done. It doesn't need to be longer than that. Okay, now let's look at the contrarian hook. The best house in the neighborhood might actually be the worst one to buy. Now you need to explain to them why. Maybe that home is significantly more expensive than the home surrounding it. Maybe it's been over improved for the neighborhood. Maybe you need to think about future resale value. Whatever your answer is, just make sure you're delivering on your hook. That's so important. I can't tell you how many times I've watched reels and they hook me with something and then they never tell me the answer. They just drag me along forever. And it's so irritating. Do not be that person. You will break trust. Okay, let's look at the last contrarian hook as an example. You do not need to wait for interest rates to drop before buying a house. So maybe your answer is because they have more negotiation power, or maybe there's less competition to buy a house, or maybe the right decision depends on how long you plan on staying in that home. The most important thing is that you don't start explaining everything you've ever learned about mortgages. Stay focused, answer one question really well, and then stop. That's it. Nothing else. That's all you need. You do not need to repeat yourself 5 different times because you're worried that the video is not long enough. Longer videos are not better. Concise, answering one question and to the point videos are better. And remember, when you're editing your videos, look for the fat. You got to trim the fat. Get rid of the ums, the likes, the repeated phrases, the things that aren't needed. Don't use big words just to sound more sophisticated, just get straight to the point. People just want to know the answer. People are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok for usually about 3 reasons: to be inspired, to be entertained, or to be educated. Okay, so remember that. They want to get to the point. They don't have all day. So be sure to trim the fat. And of course, I'm saying this as I'm rambling on in my YouTube video, but I'm just trying to drive the point home. And with that said, I will also look to trim the fat in my editing. Lastly, we have the sinker. This is the call to action. This is where we get to tell them to do something. Okay, so you've created a great hook. You've given them really good information. And then, okay, bye, we're done. No, we're not going to be done. We've got to tell them to do something, because now that they've gotten all this great information from you, they might want to like or follow you or share this or save this video for later, right? So we're going to tell them to do that at the end. Otherwise, they will do nothing at all and they will just scroll right on past your content. There are many different calls to action that you can do. So think about ways that you can mix it up. You don't always want to be asking them like, comment below for this or that, right? Or save this video for later. You want to mix it up because every video has a different reason. It touches a different audience, it has a different purpose. So make sure that your video, whatever it might be, you are adding a call to action that is appropriate. So with our first one, if you're making a call to action about what buyers should look for during their showing, maybe your call to action is save this video for your next showing. Maybe if you're talking about interest rates, you can say share this with someone you know who's waiting for interest rates to drop. If your video is talking about your local market, you can add a call to action that says comment market below and I'll send you my local market update. Just give them a clear next step of what they need to do. So the next time you create a video, remember these three things. Your hook. What are you going to say to get them to stop scrolling and continue watching your content? Number two, the information. Deliver on just one piece of information. Answer one question. And number three is the sinker, the call to action. This is where you're going to tell them what to do next. That's it. Hook, line, and sinker. Grab their attention, deliver on your promise, and tell them what to do next. And you now have a foundation for a great video. And now that I've spent this entire video pretty much telling you that you need to tell the people what to do with the call to action, I'm going to do just that. If you're a real estate professional and you would like to get more comfortable on camera, build your personal brand, and use video marketing to get more leads, then subscribe to this channel. And I want you to practice right now. So down in the comments below, I want you to pick one of two hooks, the contrarian or the curiosity hook, and write a good one down below for a video that you're going to make this week. All right, we'll see you in the next one.